Solve each equation. First one says negative 6 times y plus 8 equals 20 minus 8 times y. Notice in this equation we don't have any like terms to combine on either side, but we do have two terms with a variable. So my first order of business is to get those two terms together. But they're on different sides right now, so that means I need to eliminate them from one side. By adding or subtracting, I got to move the whole term. So in this particular case, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this 8y. If I'm subtracting 8y, the opposite would be to add 8y. That's going to get rid of this from this side. But if I add 8y on one side of the equals, I got to add 8y to the other side of the to one side of the equals. So the other side of the equals. That's gone. Negative 6y plus 8y. It's going to be 2y. Subtract, keep the sign of the larger when you combine those like terms. Leave this alone, leave that, do the 20. So now that we got the y's together, now it's just a matter of getting this y term by itself. So get all the other numbers across. Number one mistake I see students make at this point is they also try to subtract 20 and move it to this side. And we don't want to move the 20. 20 is fine. We want to get the y by itself. Now that all our y's are together here, let's get rid of everything else. So we subtract 8. We're going to get 2y equals 12. 2 times y equals 12 will tell you that y equals 6. That is the correct answer. But the way you would finish it is if you're y times 2, you divide by 2 to get rid of that 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Again, I'm not going to check it anymore, but that is the correct answer. You can check it to verify. The next problem says negative 2 times y minus 10 equals 5 times y plus 18. Once again, there's no terms to combine on this side or this side. So I'm going to have to start moving if I want to combine. There's two terms with the y. I want to make sure you understand you got options here. You could either move these 5y's over here by subtracting or move the 2y's. It doesn't really matter. So a rule of thumb that was taught a long time ago was if you want to avoid negatives, you move the smaller one, but I want you to know that it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move these y terms, get rid of it. So if I want these y's to disappear from this side, then if it's negative 2y, on this side I'm going to add 2y. That way they'll cancel out. But I must do the same to the other. So what that leaves me on the left, be very careful. That minus is still with the 10, so it's negative 10 equals. This is 7y plus 18. So what I want you to realize here is that I've put all my y's on the right side of the equation, right here. So because of that, I want to move all my other terms that have no variables to the other side. So I want to get this y by itself. So what I need to do is get rid of this 18. I want you to understand that when you move your y's to the left, then you move your numbers to the right. Separate them. If you move the variables to the right, then you move all your numbers to the left. You're basically going to put all your variables on one side, all the other numbers on the other. That's the way this works. This becomes negative 10, take away 18 is negative 28. Be very careful with your signs. Negative 10, you lost 18 more, or you take away 18 more. It's a negative 28. Combine and keep the sign. So 7 times y equals negative 28. Y can't be 4 because 7 times 4 is a positive 28. Y can be a negative 4. So, if you want to finish it, once you get to this point where they're separated, the last thing you'll do, usually, if you have 7 times y or anything times a variable, is divide by that number. Because 7 divided by 7 would be 1, so 1y. Negative 28 divided by 7 would be negative 4. Again, you're free to check this if you'd like. Just a heads up, it wouldn't have mattered if you had moved the other terms to the opposite side. Let me just fit that in right here in the bottom. If you would have moved the 5y's over here instead, you would have ended up with 7y. And on the other side, you would have ended up with 28. And then if you would have divided by negative 7, you still would have gotten negative 4. It doesn't matter where you move your variables, as long as you separate the terms with the variable from the terms that don't have a variable.